right, people. Time to tick some people off. I am neither Republican nor Democrat. I am fiscally conservative and otherwise fairly liberal. It's actually what, best of my knowledge, the majority of people in the United States of America are. But one person I've never been able to stand, and that would be Donald Trump. He's lied so much for so long. I've never liked him back in the 80s. But here's my first question. How, as a female, can you support this person? I do not understand that. I figured after the Entertainment Tonight tape came out in 2015 or 16 or whenever it was, where he bragged about sexually assaulting women, that would have been the end of his political career. To me, if you got any sort of morals, if you've got any sort of a religious background behind your morals, that would have been, or if perchance you are female, that would have been the nail in the coffin. Just no chance he ever should have continued. But whatever, people are apparently brainwashed in his cult. And they want a dictator. And he's bragged about being a dictator. And his buddies are dictators. And I just don't understand. Let me see. Oh yeah, I see a sign that says, oh yeah, promises made, promises kept. Yeah, I still don't see that wall that Mexico paid for. I still don't see that balanced budget that he claimed he was going to be able to do. And he had both houses of Congress when he was president for a while. And he couldn't do anything. He couldn't repeal Obamacare and replace it with his great plan that we still haven't seen anything of. And I'm sorry, it's not Obamacare. It's the Affordable Care Act, to use the proper term. But apparently people are too ignorant to use the proper term. Anyway, please explain to me how you can justify that. There's just so many other things, you know. Sorry, but balancing the economy, easy. Balancing the budget, easy, easy, easy. I could easily do it right off the bat. And I'll even tell you my plan. Here we go. How much money are we taking in this year? Whatever that is. Now let's go back and look at the historic budget. What year did we spend that much money? 5, whatever years ago or so. Maybe 10, I don't know. Guess what? That's the budget we're using from now on. If you want something, you either need to find out and form some sort of a consensus to take something away that we previously had to do something new, or you need to find a new form of revenue. Revenue is not a tariff. Revenue, it may make money for the government, but it is severely damaging to the economy and to the American people. Ask any economist about that. And trust me, I am not a pro-Harris person. I am not. I don't think she is the best choice. I could have come up with better. To be honest with you, Mayor Pete probably would have made a better president. But the reality is, these are the choices we're stuck with. Decide your fate. Do you want to go with a pro-dictatorship who hates NATO, loves Russia, wants to pull out all support for Ukraine, of course, and on top of that, if that happens, the odds of Ukraine falling are going up significantly. And if that happens, do you really, really think Putin is going to stop at just Ukraine? If you do, again, you are ignorant. He will not stop. He wants to put the Soviet Union back together. So, Georgia, Moldova, the Baltics, all of them are going to be in his sights very quickly. As soon as he rebuilds, since he's hemorrhaging military right now. But it will happen. If that happens, it will require NATO to step in. Personally, I'll go way out on a limb and say we should have been there for Ukraine from the start with them, flying planes next to them, attacking the attackers, stop them in their tracks right at the border. And yes, it probably would have turned into a larger war. But guess what? Right now, a larger war is so easily winnable by the US and or NATO. Russia's beat down. They're at their lowest point since World War II. If you're not going to do it now, why, I don't know, why wait until he rebuilds? That's insane. And speaking of economies, the economy is doing good. Gas prices are back down following the lovely COVID spike that prices across the board took, not just gas, all groceries, everything. And yes, I blame COVID, and I blame one other thing, corporate greed. You know why? Look at corporate profits. They're up huge, double-digit percentages. And yet they say, we have to raise prices because our costs are going up. Okay, let's explain costs here. Or not costs, let's explain price. Price is what you pay at the pump, in the grocery store, etc., etc. The cost is what it takes to dig it up out of the ground, process it, manufacture it, package it, transport it to you. Okay? The other thing that goes into price is profit. So, if you have a widget that costs $1 to manufacture and get to you, and you sell it for $1.20, that 20 cents is profit. Now, costs have gone up mainly because, you know, it's a huge supply chain and everybody has to take their cut. But costs have gone up, wages have gone up, which is a decent thing, which also contributes to inflation. But costs went up, but prices went up even larger. And what's the difference? Oh yeah, those record corporate profits. So you know what? Don't tell me Biden's economy is doing this. No, it's not Biden's economy. It's not Kamala Harris's economy. And why would you blame Kamala Harris? She's the vice president. She has almost zero influence in this country. What she does is she presides over the Senate and occasionally casts a deciding vote when there's a tied vote. She is the tiebreaker. She doesn't introduce legislation. She doesn't set anything. She was tasked to head up the Biden's administration effort to stem the number of people attempting to cross at our southern borders illegally. And the administration decided the best way to do that was to shore up the places in Central America where people were coming from so they wouldn't do the mass exodus as much. And guess what? It's worked. The numbers of people caught attempting to cross our borders is down. Is it as low as I'd like? No. Is it perfect? No. And some of that you can blame the Republicans on, because when there was a border bill, they all decided they were going to be part of the MAGA cult and follow Donald Trump and say, see, there's no new border stuff. Yeah, because the Republicans were the ones that killed it. It was a bipartisan bill, and then Trump stepped in and got his patsies to vote against it. So, all of you blaming Biden, you might want to look in your own red backyard and see how your congresspeople and senators voted on those things. Because I'm guessing you're going to find that, yeah, there's a bit of a cult. Anyway, my fingers are cold because it's still freaking cold out here, and I blabbed on enough. I got more stupid topics that'll be controversial. El pato de la muerta. Gonna warm my hands. Bye.